Football is truly the beautiful game, and sometimes there are players so elegant it just encapsulates the whole meaning of football. There are many players in world football that do different things to a brilliant level, and it is truly a game you can interpret in your own way and be useful despite being so different. Today we're going to look at a prevalent player in my childhood, someone you will all know as he encapsulated Premier League football with his unique skill set and amazing vision. Despite there being brilliant creators before and after he has played football, and with his shock retirement coming last year, we're going to look at why Mesut Özil is different to every single player on the planet, and he was truly one of a kind. What's up guys, welcome to the channel. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more Arsenal content. Now Mesut Özil was the perfect player to talk about when you talk about my childhood. Growing up as an Arsenal fan, he was vital to my teenage years and was the key player for Arsenal over half a decade. Özil played for many successful clubs, being Arsenal, Real Madrid, and also being at a very good Werder Bremen side, and of course he won the World Cup and came third with his Germany national team. Now Özil is definitely a weird player. When he was playing, it felt like he weren't putting much effort in, but when you looked at his running statistics, he was putting a lot in. And he is someone that has gone under the radar for one of the best midfielders in the world of all time, maybe through different stints, but there's no undeniably doubting his ability and his vision. He was someone that could pick the ball up from anywhere and find a brilliant pass, and per game was creating more chances than the elite players do even to this day. He was someone that wouldn't purposely be flashy on the ball, but he had the ability to, and would always do something cool to find the pass or find the way of getting the team to win. Some games you may feel like he has not been involved or not doing anything, but then you look at the stats and look at his contributions and you realise he is the heart of everything that Arsenal did and Real Madrid did when he was there. He's also someone that took large criticism by national team and player fans of the team he played for sometimes things that he couldn't deal with. He'd created so many chances, it's not necessarily his fault they're not getting put in. Imagine nowadays if De Bruyne was doing brilliant crosses and they kept missing the chances and De Bruyne got the blame, you wouldn't believe it. And obviously Mesut Özil spent his peak years at Arsenal Football Club. Now he was at Real Madrid before and did a big shock move for £40 million to come to Arsenal because Real Madrid wanted to invest in other players. He had a brilliant partnership with Benzema and Ronaldo at Real Madrid, but decided to give that all away for Giroud and Podolski. Now not only at Arsenal did he do some of the most insane passes and insane assists I've ever seen in a football pitch, he was creating a huge amount of chances per game and per year. In the 2015-2016 season, Özil created 146 chances, the most in a single Premier League season. And even before he reached his prime, at Real Madrid he created the most chances in a single game as a player with 12 against Tottenham in 2011 in the Champions League. So before he even came to Arsenal, he was already a legend for the fans. And despite there being large criticisms by media in the UK about his performances, despite not playing for an overly good Arsenal side, he was also the most followed footballer on social media when he was in the Premier League. He was the face of Adidas and had big sponsorship deals, and while sending Germany to win the World Cup being a big part of that 2014 campaign, was definitely one of the most influential players in football at the time. And it wasn't down to sheer pace or sheer physical ability to play the game, it was all down to his technical ability being the best in the world, not needing pace and strength to go past people, but just using his great feet to go past them every single day of the week. Now despite talking about how much he meant to me as a child and how good he was technically, Mesut Özil was a very weird player, and I don't think anyone ever comes close to what he actually did in football. Not only was he a massive social media star and was very outspoken on different circumstances outside of football, there's always different regard of how good he was. Some people think he was overrated, some people think he was the best midfielders of all time, and some people think he was lazy and never really worked very hard. It's very different depending on who you speak to. And now while stats can talk about some of the story, it can help you understand he was a very good creative player and created a lot of chances, but it doesn't help you stand that he didn't do much in the big games for Arsenal and was often one of the reasons why Arsenal were a third best team in the country when he was supposed to be their main man. Creatively, he was definitely on one of the best of all time, but he didn't necessarily have that natural ability to go past the whole team and score a brilliant goal. Occasionally he would do some amazing trick that would happen, but it wouldn't happen long enough for it to be a legend of the game, someone like Pirlo, Kaká or Modric. And while I do feel for him because his time at Arsenal I think was mostly squandered, I think he wasted most of his good career in England because Arsenal didn't have a great defensive midfield cover and we had Giroud out front who wasn't very clinical, and he certainly did create a lot more than what we should have scored. However, he wasn't really a player to take a game by the scruff of the neck and just go and win the game naturally. Someone like Alexis Sanchez when he came to Arsenal had this ability to be able to just win games. I don't don't think on his own he had that, because he didn't have that brilliant ability to just get a great output unless his players were actually putting the chances away. Despite this, he obviously had weaknesses himself. He wasn't great defensively and didn't really try, and he didn't carry the ball as well as you would want, so he basically became a midfielder that you would want as a sort of quarterback player, just to do a brilliant ball or brilliant pass into the middle. A brilliant counter-attacking player, but not brilliant with a team that has the ball a lot and are waiting for him to win the ball back. I think this is one of the reasons why he didn't succeed as much as he could have. Some people blame laziness, some people blame his tactical awareness, but I do think naturally he was a brilliant ability-wise, but he necessarily didn't have that drive to achieve as much as he could, especially considering he'd already achieved a lot by the time he was in his prime at Arsenal. But he certainly was known for a lot of things in football. He also had this unique bounce shot where he kicked the ball quickly into the floor to bounce it over the goalkeeper. He did this a lot, and it became some sort of unique way of him to be able to score. It seemed like every time he was scoring, it was from this technique. He also believed very much in using his platform to spread what he believed in. He criticised China's treatment of Muslims in the western region of Xinjiang, and that got him removed from Pro Evolution Soccer, and the Premier League cancelled their live coverage of a Man City and Arsenal game in China. This, alongside Özil being pictured with the Turkish president, there's a lot of debate which his loyalty in Germany was actually there, because he was born in Germany to Turkish parents, and a lot of Germany's fans blamed him when they got knocked out of the group stage in the 2018 World Cup. Now, this is unfortunately what Özil will probably be remembered the most for, his legacy off the pitch where he spoke what he believed in, which I do respect. I do believe that is a great thing to have, and it may have played a part into his eventual exit from Arsenal, with them not being happy with the things he said, or maybe being forced into a move by the Premier League. Now, I believe he should be allowed to say what he wants, and I respect his decision and his opinion, but it is weird for someone that a lot of people claim is very lazy and didn't really try when it mattered for Arsenal, being so passionate about subjects out of football when online. And even now when he's retired, you see him yapping all the time on the internet. Now, Mesut Özil was always on this planet to divide people. Some people like him, some people don't like him, some people think he's a good player, but this is why I think he's so unique. You just can't put your finger on how good he was or how much he's done. He's so different than any person you ask. And a lot of Arsenal fans will have bias to him because he was brilliant when they were growing up. I mean, personally, I respect him, but I never really liked him. He is one of the only Arsenal players I've actually seen score live, but when Alexis Sanchez came in, that was when you really saw a player take over, but it's not always on Ozil's fault. I don't think in the future of football you're going to see someone like this divide so many people, because obviously there is a lot more in-depth stats. People look at everything even more than they did 10 years ago, and even then there was a lot. And someone like Mesut Özil would have probably been told to calm down or do different things. And considering Arsenal never really got better and we were just the same every year, I don't think that helped his cause in the future, despite obviously him winning a few FA Cups. No matter what you think of him, his last few years of his career were pretty depressing, eventually retiring in Turkey because Arsenal got his contract terminated, where he seemed to not try after he got paid the big bucks. Let me know what you guys think about Mesut Özil and how weird of a player he was. If you like this video, please watch my video where I talk about Thomas Partey coming back to Arsenal. Big news currently for us. And if you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.